So the new iPhone 17 Max is awesome. It's got a 48 megapixel Fusion rear camera, can capture 4K Dolby Vision at 120 frames per second, and the ability to shoot log footage. But what if all you have is a 7-year-old iPhone XR? A phone that has officially been classified as vintage by Apple themselves. But can you shoot a cinematic video on this ancient piece of tech? And could it stand up to the latest and greatest that Apple has released? Well, that's exactly what we're going to find out today. This is my buddy Jason. Apart from looking ridiculously good in a beard, he is a proud owner of the brand new iPhone 17 Max, so I asked him,
do you think that I, on my 7-year-old phone, could shoot a better cinematic video than you on the latest and greatest iPhone? What do you think about that?
No, dude. You don't have a chance. I mean, I'm shooting on an iPhone 17 Pro Max. You're shooting on something that's like 7 years old, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a film camera that I'm shooting on almost.
I will take that challenge, man. I will take it.
I'm thinking we should have kind of a punishment, for the person who loses. What do you think about that?
All right. Well, it depends on what the punishment is. But yeah, sure. I think we should have some stakes.
Well, here's my thought. So we both have kids. What if whoever loses this challenge has to do a dramatic reading of one of your kids' storybooks while wearing a wig? What do you think about that?
I'll do that for free, but but yes, I like it.
I'm probably going to regret challenging to this, but may the best cinematic iPhone storyteller win.
Yes. All right, brother. Appreciate the call, man.
Can't wait to see what you got. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah, appreciate you.
now obviously we need a few ground rules for this competition. So here's the things that we've set up for this. Rule number 1, no longer than 90 seconds. Rule number 2, we must both use the same provided music track. And rule number 3 is you can use any other kind of gear to supplement your filming. That could be a gimbal, extra lighting, microphones, whatever you want, but the video has to be shot on the iPhone, obviously. And then each of our projects will be judged on these 3 different categories. Number 1, cinematography and visual composition. That's your framing, camera angle, shot variety, texture, movement, how cinematic the shots feel. Number 2 will be creativity and concept. How original is the idea, the interpretation, basically how good is your storytelling. And then number 3 will be the editing and the flow. So how is your pacing, your timing, the transitions, the overall feel of the edit. And whoever scores best in those 3 categories will basically win. All right, so let's start figuring out how we're gonna make video that comes out of this old relic cinematic. The main components that go into a cinematic video is lighting. So we got to have really good lighting. We got to frame our shots really well. Usually some dynamic movement is important when it comes to these things. Obviously we'll try to stitch some interesting cuts together in the edit, so that'll help us out. And another thing that we really need to make a video cinematic is we need motion blur. And that's one big thing that makes phone videos not look cinematic, is you don't get a shutter speed that's going to give you motion blur. It just looks too crisp, it looks too nice, it looks digital. We're gonna really need to probably use a different app than the actual native iPhone one, because the native iPhone one that you get just doesn't allow you to tweak the settings how you want. So now a really popular one that a lot of people use is one called Filmic Pro. Another one that's also good and free is the Blackmagic camera one. So I think another thing that I'm gonna need to use to really help make this work is some sort of gimbal to really smooth my shots out and whatnot. Luckily, that's exactly what I have here. So that's gonna give us some smoother, more interesting dynamic shots. Next off, let's listen to the track and see if we can get some ideas and some vibes for how we're gonna put this cinematic story together. Because really, a lot of times the emotional weight comes from the soundtrack. So we're gonna listen to that and see if it can kind of give us some more ideas. It's a beautiful day today, so we're gonna try to use all of this nice, good, natural light in our shots. Anyway, let's listen to this track. It's definitely very ambient. We got some mysterious, almost dark kind of vibes to it. Okay. All right, I think that kind of gives me the rough idea of that. I'm kind of starting to get some more thoughts on how we're gonna put this thing together. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to pull out all the stops when it comes to this video if I'm gonna be Jason. I'm gonna really have to lean a little more into my sound design, my editing, and the shots that I get to really pull this off and make this a good cinematic video. So let's see what we can do. I also just want to take a really quick moment to say how sweet Fesliyan Studios is. It's basically just a guy who produces a lot of his own music and basically has them all royalty free on his website. If you donate to him, then you can even use them on YouTube on monetized channels. So that's super awesome. So definitely go check them out. Not sponsored. All right, back to the video.
I think the first order of business is start throwing ideas onto a Milanote to get ideas flowing and going. So yeah, so that's where I'm gonna go first, is to hop into Milanote and start putting my ideas down on paper.
Two options that I've basically formulated is the airport one where I'm changing my appearance like he's running. I think it'll fit the music really well, and it's kind of cool that I'm doing it at the airport as well. And then the second one is a man who's sitting on a park bench or on a bench somewhere, and he's disheveled and he's just reminiscing over time with his family. And then he's drinking, he's smoking, he's relapsing, he's kind of just in a mess. So that one is going to be tails, and then the airport one is going to be heads with the butterfly. So let's go ahead and flip this coin and see which one is it going to be. You guys ready? Here we go. Whoop. Here we go. Almost. Boom. Ha. Oh. It's tails. All right, came to this really cool coffee shop, to work on my Milanote. Ordered a coffee, gonna sit down, dial in the shoot just a little bit. You know, it's those fine details that you gotta pay attention to.
Shoot day is gonna be on Monday night. I'm gonna do an evening shoot, so this is twofold for me. One, I think it's badass to shoot things at really test the capabilities of your cams, and it provides a sense of moodiness that I'm looking for. So I want that moodiness, I want to shoot at night, and I also want to see what the iPhone 17 Pro capabilities are at night. The whole process of filmmaking is problem solving. And I solved the problem with getting my iPhone rigged out on this Ronin RS because it typically isn't made to house an iPhone on it. iPhones are way too light. The motors are actually made for big cam systems. And I'm running a cam system on there. So I kind of had to jerry rig it and figure out how this is gonna work, put some weights on it, counterweights and things of that nature. So let me show you what I did so I'm able to actually utilize this Ronin RS for my shoot.
All right, got the gimbal set up. Honestly, I've never used this gimbal for my phone. It's always been for a camera, but this is the Ronin SC Lite. So this guy is built for lightweight things. Uh-oh. See how it's vibrating like that? That means we didn't do something right. This should get rid of all the shakes if we auto-tune it. I think we are in business. Great. All right, I haven't really thought of the idea of what we're gonna do yet, so my thinking is we're just gonna head downtown and start getting a few interesting, cool shots, and we'll see if the story can find us. Probably not the best way to go about winning a cinematic iPhone challenge, but we're gonna give it a roll and see what happens. All right. The next thing we've got to do is we've got to make sure that our settings on this camera are good to go. So let's do that first. All right, so we're going to run the Filmic Pro app, and we're going to do it on the 7-day free trial. That should give us enough time to get this set. Shows you how old this iPhone is. It's been trying to open this app for about 20 seconds now. There it goes. Oh, this is going to be difficult.
Okay, so I'm going to spare you from hearing me just drag things out right here. So basically what I did was I set it to 4K 60 so that I could get some nice slow-mo shots, and I wanted a 180-degree shutter. And I was thinking, well, I guess I could do it in post. But then I had the epiphany that I have this really tiny ND filter that goes with the Osmo. So my next plan was basically just to find some tape somewhere so that I could jerry-rig this thing onto the camera.
And lo and behold, I walked down the street and found a place that had a piece of tape. So once I got that attached, we were ready to roll. All right, so I think we're rolling now. We're a little bit rushed. I only got a little more time today before I have to watch the kids. So this is kind of what the setup that we got going on here. So you can see we got the ND filter tape there. I got some backup tape here. I think I'm really gonna have to let this one find me because I just don't know the story that I'm telling yet. Let's keep rolling. Now, I didn't actually get any footage of me going out and actually filming this. So just pretend this cool stock footage is me getting these cinematic shots with my iPhone. It's basically the same thing. All right, I fixed the most biggest glaring issue that I had, and that's I had the mount on backwards. You guys probably noticed that before I did. But I was having trouble getting to the screen. Just turn the mount around. There you go, look at that. That's gonna make things a lot easier. All right, we're gonna head down to this cool waterfront area. There's a lot of interesting things and stuff over there. I think we can do a couple hyperlapses, and I think that's going to give us some nice cinematic shots. So that's where we're going to really start to get these videos. Now that we're dialed in, I think we're ready to start capturing some stuff. So let's go and do it. Okay, so far, this first stretch of shooting has just been, it's just been a mess. Let's just be honest. So this phone's getting pretty old, so its battery dies pretty quickly, especially when you're filming video and using another app that uses a lot of power. So, well, one problem was I didn't have this fully charged after all the stuff I was doing this morning. So that was one thing I ran into. It took me a little bit to get the ND filter and stuff rigged up there. And then basically by the time I'd gotten that and gotten all the settings and other stuff ready and I was down in this area, my phone was basically dead. So I'm already hitting a bunch of obstacles and other stuff. There's just so many problems that come along with using such an old phone that you really have to plan and optimize for. And plus, I don't even know what my story is yet. So I'm gonna spend the time that my phone's charging right now to kind of just try to hash out the story a little bit. So I think I'm just gonna take this time to just kind of like get some thoughts down on paper. Got my journal here, so we're just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. And part of that is just when you are working with other gear and you don't come as prepared as you need to be, then you hit into some problems. So I wonder if Jason's having this many problems.
All right, so I'm here at Tempe Town Lake, the beach area. I think I found a spot where I'm gonna try to film. I'm not really concerned about people throwing up a fit about me filming in this location. I'm hoping. Location one is a bust. Security's coming around, checking vehicles, locking up the parking lot area, and so that's interesting. So I'm gonna clean up. I think I have a location 2 that I can go to. So I'm packing up, heading there now. It's already 10:14 at night, man. This is gonna be a long night. So that's where I'm at right now. So can't film here. Gonna go to the second location. I have a decent idea. It's really right next to the office, so I don't think I have a problem filming there. So let me pack up this gear and then head there. I'm at location 2. It's actually right outside our office here at Small Giants. I mean, I feel like I'm safe here. I'm not gonna be bothered. I'm gonna get my MacBook set up, walk through my shot list, and make sure that I get everything so I can piece the story together. So I'm gonna just beast this thing out. I got quite a few shots to do based off my shot list. So I have the iPad connected. It seems to be working. As you can see, a car's about to pass, so you'll probably see the car come into frame. Yeah, there we are. Everything's working. So feeling better about that. Now I'm able to actually control the iPhone with this based off the app. So I'm gonna have that all set up and we should be good to go. All right, it is the next day. Well, it's actually the same day because I didn't get home until roughly around 1:45 in the morning, and I've only gotten 3 hours of sleep. I'm currently throwing all the footage onto a project timeline to try to organize it and see if there's any way I can save this thing. I'm a little discouraged. So I was really discouraged last night when I couldn't film in the location that I originally set up in, because I love that location way better than this one. And I was out of my groove after that. Like when you get derailed, you know, it kind of messed up my flow and it messed up my mojo. And so I kind of rushed through things last night, and it was a long night, but I'm throwing it on the timeline. I have the vibe and the look that I'm going for, so I'm impressed with the iPhone footage and grading it and getting it to where I want it to be. I'm loving that. The problem is I just don't like the story. The story's not flowing the way that I want it to flow. And I got it somewhat salvaged around the halfway mark. And then my story kind of goes into like a dream sequence type thing. And then I have no ending. Like my ending was really choppy because it was the latter part of the evening. I didn't really film a good closing to the video. I mean, I got one decent shot to close the video, but after that, it's like, it's not what I want to, it's not how I want to end it. So I may need to go back there tonight to try to get some closing shots.
All right, so it's the next day, and I realized a few things. I didn't really get anywhere with all the footage and stuff I did yesterday. One, I found out that if your phone is low on battery, then the processing power basically goes through the floor. So I had it set to shoot 60 frames in the Phone Pro app, and then I realized that as it was getting lower and lower, it was consistently dropping frames to like 30 frames, 14 frames, all these weird numbers. And so then that basically ruined the footage. So the first few shots I got worked beautifully, worked just fine, but then all the rest of them were basically unusable. So another limitation of using a 7-year-old phone, but that's okay. I also realized that just going around and shooting the random shots wasn't going to tell the good story that I need. So I need to take some more time today to really start to plan out the idea and the story that I'm going to tell. And I think that's going to involve listening to the track a few more times, getting an idea of some of the different types of shots I want to use, and then finding out how to tell a story or what the premise of my story is first. That's probably where I should have started. So that's what we're going to be doing today.
All right, so I'm here for the reshoot, baby. Ugh. All right, I have to get some random shots that are just gonna make sense. I gotta do better at getting like cutaways and some B-roll to tell the story better, so I'm not just doing one wide shot, basically being lazy. I'm trying to avoid to being lazy and do this. A lot of work. It takes work, baby. It takes work. That's right, it takes work, so I'm trying to put in the work, do a good job at telling the story.
Okay, I'm about 95% done with my cinematic iPhone edit. Let me just jump into the timeline here and just show you a few things of kind of my thought process and how I went about creating this cinematic video. And some of the most important things that I keep in mind when I'm trying to make a more cinematic looking video. And just as a quick aside, if you like this kind of content, if you hit that subscribe and like button, we'd really appreciate it. It means so much. We make all kinds of interesting content on this channel, but specifically ones about living a regret-free life. But if you don't hit subscribe on my channel, then I would urge you to at least go and hit the subscribe on my buddy Jason's channel, because he's like 150 from 1,000 subscribers. And I just think it'd be so awesome if this video got him to that 1,000 subscribers. So he's making all kinds of great content as well, and we'll get on with the video. And also, if digging into like the deep dive on the timeline, that kind of stuff is super boring to you, I don't blame you. So you can skip ahead to this time code. It's totally fine. All right, thanks. Now here's my project. As you can see, there's quite a few layers. The video's on the top, and then down here is all of my music, dialogue, sound effects, ambient noise, all that other kind of stuff. And this top adjustment layer is basically handling our color grade and just the overall tweaks in exposure and other stuff to the layers below it. Probably one of the biggest difficulties on shooting the super old iPhone, other than the battery life not really lasting very long, is that it only shoots in 8-bit color. And the problem with 8-bit color is that when you try to grade it or you try to do other stuff with it, you can't really push it too far before it starts to break down. Let me just show you an example here. Over at the end, there's this shot that I have of where I have my hands on the steering wheel. And I actually had to turn off part of my grade on this one because, as you can see, just the light grade that I had in the other ones, because this one was so dark, it lost a lot of the information. And as you can see, my hands, it just starts to break down the color on my hands pretty quickly. So it really just didn't have the leeway to push it where I wanted it to go. So I had to actually kind of really tone back on that part. Just to make it work. And then here for all the different shots I collected, some of these are nested ones, like for the different hyperlapses that I did, I actually had to stabilize it and then nest it so that I could reverse it or then time remap it. I did some masking and some animations with some wipes on the end of the stuff that I was passing by. So that's why my different shots are kind of staggered and layered over top of each other in a lot of different ways. Then when you jump down to this bottom layer, which is the audio aspect of it, and what I would say is one of the most important aspects is the sound in the cinematic video. I sliced up the music track first to kind of give me the overall progression and feel that I wanted. These purple tracks here are actually, it's an old Billy Graham sermon that I found that I kind of put as some of the voiceover for the cinematic one. It kind of goes with my theme, which is that of time passing, time being short. That was kind of like helping tell the story there. And then everything below here is all of my sound effects, ambient noise, risers, impacts, all that other kind of good stuff is all down here. And usually how I go along with one of these edits is I'll go through and I will add in all of the practical sounds. So all the ones where it's like if I see something that happens, like a wave that's on screen or something that hits something else, I'll add in some of those effects where I'm like, hey, I want to hear that. It's one shot where there are leaves that are kind of scattering across the film, and I wanted to make sure I heard the wind and I heard the leaves going past the camera. And then there'll be another pass that'll go through and I'll add all the different impacts, risers, clicks, and then I'll basically kind of go back through and I'll just keep kind of adding down different layers. And you can do this by adding in different reverbs, or shortening or softening a lot of them. Mixing them and making sure that your sound effects aren't too loud is very important when it comes to these, because if the sound effects are mixed wrong and they're too loud or they take over or they don't really sell it right, then that could just ruin the whole cinematic video. So now, of course, you can't go too far with this too. You can layer in too much sound. It can really take away from your whole story that you're telling. So sometimes the absence of sound can also be just as powerful as adding in the sound effect. So you definitely don't want to overdo it. You want to just try to balance it, and you want to try to put in enough stuff that really adds to the feel and the vibe of it. All right, cool. Let's get on with the video. Hey, Jason, can you hear me?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Okay, should we view them? Should we do a screening?
Yeah, dude, I'm really stoked to see yours. Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm stoked to see yours too. You sent me the video files, but I haven't watched them yet. Yeah. Obviously, we're not going to be judging them. We got our buddy John. He's an unbiased third party. He's known both of us the same amount of time.
Right.
Also a YouTuber, does film stuff, so he's got the grading rubric, and he's gonna be going through these and doing the grades. So we'll know pretty soon after this who the winner is.
I'm excited, man. This is gonna be fun.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
It's crazy that that's at night and shot on an iPhone.
Is that nuts?
Blows my mind. Track works really well with it.
I like it,
works
man.
Really well
yeah,
with the vibe.
Kind of vibe.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Wow.
There it is,
Wow.
dude.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Honestly, like when it comes to the storytelling, like there's some deep storytelling like vibes there. And literally like the crazy thing was that it was shot at night on the iPhone and it looked that good, because that was the biggest restraint with mine is I'm like, I can't shoot anything if there's not like full sunlight. Like it's not going to turn out good at all. Like my old iPhone just it wouldn't handle that in the slightest. It would just be all grainy. That looked so good for being shot at night.
I was impressed with what the dang iPhone could do, man. It blew me away. So
I loved it. I loved it.
yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Let's watch yours, dude.
Okay, let's do it.
Time is short. Every one of us here has been given the same amount of time in a day.
Oh, man.
Every morning we have 86,400 seconds. And each day the bank named time opens a new account for you and for me. It allows no balance
So
and no
good.
overdraft. If you fail to use the day's deposit, the loss is yours. What is your life? It's even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. 1,000 years in hindsight, and as a watch 4 hours in the night. One day is with the Lord 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is one day. But thou, O Lord, shall endure forever, and thy remembrance unto all generations.
There you go.
Dude, that just was so good. That was freaking so awesome, man. That was really, really good. I mean, you brought the heat for sure, dude. I'm telling you right now, it does not matter. Like, these are just tools, and you utilized what you had, which was nowhere on the level of what I had, and you did something brilliant, man. That was awesome. So
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's what makes these projects so fun. Is it really just gives you the rails to start thinking creatively and to think outside the box. That's what I love so much about doing these kind of projects. I'll give you a call back when I have the final result. How's that sound?
sounds good, man.
All right, we'll chat soon.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so I've been tasked with judging these two short films to see who is the most cinematic. Let me try that again. Cinematic. Oh my God, that is so bright. Not doing that again. I should probably let the spots clear from my vision first before I get started with all this. Okay. All right, let's start with Jason's. All right, let's see what Joseph's got with his dinosaur of a phone. Honestly, I don't even know what to expect here. Truly excellent work, guys. Let's tally up the score sheets and see where we're at. Let's get these sent off, shall we? Okay. Oh. I guess I probably shouldn't be showing your address. It's up to you to blur that. That's not on me. Wait. Why am I mailing this? It would be so much easier just to email this stuff over. Boys, it's been a pleasure.
Jason, what's up, man?
What's up, dude? How you like the new look?
Dude, I love it. Although I love the beard. you
Yeah.
know, the beard was fire. The beard was definitely fire. All right.
Yeah,
that's
it
good.
was time.
Well, you ready to hear the results? I got the email from John.
Dude, anticipation, man. I've been waiting. Let's get this thing over with.
All right, here we go. And before we hit the results, I just want to say our buddy John is a legit filmmaker. Like, he honestly, his channel Azilizon, amazing. It's 10 times better than both our channels. Go
Yeah,
subscribe to it right
put
now.
together.
You got to do it.
Dude.
It's fantastic. And so he did actually a full in-depth breakdown of our whole videos and the scoring. And so you can actually check out that whole video in the description of this video as well. You can learn a lot just from watching John go over our videos. So I just want to put that out.
The dude's a genius. Go subscribe.
He's a wizard. The scores are 7.97 to 8.03.
Ooh.
So by a margin of 0.06,
Yeah.
it's a pretty slim margin. That's a pretty slim margin.
All right.
And the winner is...
I don't know what I'm doing here. I mean, I have the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Come on.